as play resumes. Teams win a draw in the Devils zone. Chip back in the score! Keandre Miller, let it go! And welcome to Raleigh, Keandre. His first with the Hurricanes, and they're back up 2-1. Here's Miller finding his way through, and he scores! A power play goal! Keandre Miller! Oh, he can call Carolina home now! Back for Gostisbehere, traffic in front. Gostisbehere works it out front, they score! Oh, Seth Jarvis! Seth on the spot takes the feed from Aho. And it's 4-3 Carolina with 2:43 left in the third.
Well, what do you know? The Hurricanes won a hockey game. Hope everybody is well. Welcome to the first regular season Canes Corner podcast. I am Adam Gold. We are brought to you by the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. If it is for the exterior of your home, you can find it at the Aluminum Company of North Carolina on Hamlin Road in Durham, and they will be at my house on Monday. Stuff getting done. I'm going to bring up kind of an old line we have used. You can't go 82-0 without first going 1-0. And the Hurricanes have accomplished 1-0 with a 6-3 win over the New Jersey Devils. For those people who remember back in the day, I think Carolina started either 8-0 or 9-0 that one year, and we just kept running with the joke. I mean, they're not going to go 82-0, but on the off chance that you did, you'd have to start 1-0. So, the first box checked. Weird game. Very, very strange game. As I said this on the aftermath, and I think it bears repeating. If I didn't see the goals and I just watched everything that led to goals and scoring chances, and then you told me the final score, I would have gone, yeah, that's about right. Maybe not quite 3, but, 6, maybe more. I don't know. There were a lot of posts, but I would have said, yeah, 6-3 sounds about fair. And then I watched the goals. Taylor Hall, tip from outside the net, ends up a goal. Both Keandre Miller goals, frankly, I think Jacob Markstrom wants him back. The Jarvis goal was legit, right? You have the empty net, and then 13 seconds left. Taylor Hall springs Eric Robinson in 6. But even the Devils goals, I think Freddie wants the Dougie Hamilton goal back. We don't like Dougie Hamilton scoring. But that's one you probably need to stop. I don't blame him on the 2-on-1 goal by Cody Glass. That was an elite shot. And frankly, it was probably the best overall play of the night in the game. And just because it was a gorgeous pass by Luke Hughes. A broken play. I'm back. Third goal was a broken play in which Brett Pesce is really under duress and just throws it out in front. And Jarvis thought the play was going the other way, and he was behind Jesper Bratt. And it's not a good goal to allow because it's a defensive breakdown, and you don't want your top guys breaking down defensively, but that's what happened. And Carolina, all of a sudden, it's a 3-3 hockey game, and there's 8 minutes to go, but Carolina just kept going. And you get the Jarvis power play goal. Not that was not a power play goal. The Miller goal was a power play goal. The Jarvis goal, great play from a lot of different players, and we'll talk about it. You get the empty net goal, then the Robinson goal for the final margin. So again, if you had told me if I didn't see the goals, 6-3 to me is about fair, but the goals are kind of dumb. And if I don't know if you had Jacob Markstrom on your fantasy team, you're probably not happy with Jacob Markstrom because, frankly, 2 of those goals probably can't go. But you can say the same thing about Freddie Anderson with 1 of the goals that probably should not go. All right, let's get to some things about the game, and we will, of course, try to say hi to as many people as possible. And I'll try to go through quickly so I can have some more time to kind of go through the comments. And man, it's just great to be back, isn't it? It's great to have hockey that means something. The preseason is the preseason, but it's great to have these games that really, really do matter. All right, let's talk about the new guys first. We'll start with K'Andre Miller, who I thought was excellent in his debut tonight. And I thought Rod Brindamore talked about it after the game. He loved everything about K'Andre Miller. I turned to, I forget, I was sitting here on press row, but I mentioned about halfway through the first period, I just went, oh, we're going to like watching Miller play. The size, the reach, the speed. He can play a physical game. So many good things about everything we saw from K'Andre Miller tonight. The two goals, I mean, are not how you draw them up. The first goal, Will Carrier really finds a loose puck and just taps it, not even with any kind of pace, over to Miller. If he doesn't have, as I said on, I think it was the aftermath, if he doesn't have a reach like the size of Nebraska, he doesn't get to that puck. And he didn't really do anything other than just kind of slap it towards the goal, and it bounced and somehow goes through Markstrom. And the power play goal is one that Markstrom's got a glove. I mean, it hits him in the heel of the glove, bounces off his arm and goes in. Hey, we'll take it. And as I said on Twitter, it's a good thing Freddie Anderson didn't give up a goal like that, because we would lose our minds, justifiably so. But I thought Miller was excellent. I thought Nick Ehlers, for not getting on the score sheet, probably can't play a better game. I thought he helped create a whole bunch of really good chances for that top line. So I got no quarrels with Nick Ehlers' initial foray into the Hurricanes. I did say before the game, it would be great, regardless of what happened tonight. I think one of the best things you might want to see is Ehlers score or Svechnikov score, because you'd love to see those two guys get off to good starts. But I thought both played well, and maybe that's as important as anything, that they just played impactful games. Ehlers very good. Can I just bring up, and I guess we could have talked about this later, he only played about 15 and a half minutes, but I really liked Alexander Nikishin tonight. One of the best signs going forward will be, and look, Rod Brindamore is going to protect him as much as he can. They'll limit ice time, especially in the third period. But it was not lost upon me at all that he was instrumental in 2 goals for Carolina. The first goal, we'll explain how, and the goal, the Seth Jarvis goal that made it 4-3. He was a +3 tonight. Nikishin also had 3 hits, 1 shot on goal. I want to see a few more of those. I mean, he's got a great shot. I want to see him use it. He only played 15:34. Real quick on the first goal, which Eric Robinson doesn't get an assist, but there is no goal without Eric Robinson. Jesperi Kotkaniemi didn't win the faceoff, but Robinson got to the puck, and he passed it back to Nikishin, who made a perfect pass to Shayne Gostisbehere, who got the shot on, well, I don't know if it was on net or not. Looked like it was probably wide of the net, but Taylor Hall deflected it between the legs of Markstrom for 1-0. But Nikishin, that's a perfect pass to Gostisbehere. If it isn't a perfect pass, then you don't know what happens after that, but it was a great pass to Nikishin. I liked so much of what I saw from the 24-year-old kid tonight. And then on the goal that made it 4-3, the Jarvis goal, it's Nikishin that comes into the middle of the ice, gloves the puck down, settles it, and then rather than do something crazy, he simply sees Aho in the corner. He skates it towards Aho, gives him the puck, and then cycles back up top. Gostisbehere eventually gets that puck. He finds Aho near the basically on the half wall. Aho sees Jarvis in front, and it is Gostisbehere to Aho to Jarvis, 4-3 Carolina. I think it was 2:43 remaining in the game. But Nikishin makes good plays on both of those goals. The first one and the game winner from Jarvis. Really good game from him tonight. And then he's not a new guy, but he's in a new position. So let's talk about Logan Stankoven, who I thought had a great start in the faceoff circle. Didn't end up a great night on the dot, but it wasn't a terrible night. He won 4 out of his first 6 and then only won 2 of his last 7. But he was good tonight. And I thought that line, my gosh, that line is going to be really, really good. I think one of the plays that stood out to me in the game was Blake making a pass to Stankoven. It either hopped his stick or maybe it was deflected. Well, it couldn't have been deflected because it went for icing. Carolina, with 15 seconds left in the period, have Stankoven, Blake, and Svechnikov on the ice. Theoretically, not a great defensive line, right? Not that Blake and Stankoven can't play well defensively. They can. But Andre's not known to be a great defender. They were on the ice, on the icing, and as soon as that happened, with 15 seconds left, Sheldon Keefe sends out Nico Hischier on the faceoff circle, Jack Hughes on the right side, Jesper Bratt on the left, with, I believe it was Hamilton and Luke Hughes. So Keefe is loading up the offensive zone. Stankoven does not win that draw. And it gets back to the point, and then it gets cycled low, and Jackson Blake makes a defensive play on Bratt, takes the puck away, and Carolina gets out of dodge. That could have been a very difficult circumstance because it was an unfortunate icing that gave New Jersey an opportunity with their best offensive players on the ice late in the period. But Blake makes a dynamite play. I love that line all night long. I think we're going to love watching that line. I think Andre is going to have a great time playing with Jackson Blake. I really do. If you can't play with Jackson Blake, that you don't like hockey. That kid always ends up with the puck. I know last year was a broken record. I kept saying it. And I think by the end of the year, we all realized, my gosh, he always comes away with the puck. How does he do that? I thought he was very good tonight, and it was, to me, that line was super noticeable. Before we talk about the old guys, Vero Beach checking in, California Caniacs checking in, Greenville, North Carolina, Charlotte, let's go Canes. Of course, Outer Banks, yeah. I think Miller's going to fit in just fine. He ain't alone. Let's see where we are. Jordan Stahl watch. Jordan Stahl that line was good tonight. Didn't play a lot tonight. I think Rod decided he wanted to see Stankoven, Blake, and Svechnikov because hey, look, if Stankoven and Blake are just going to keep getting the puck back, you might as well leave them on the ice. Sumter, South Carolina, of course. Sumter, South Carolina. We're huge in Sumter. I thought Keandre Miller was Sumter else. I mean, I should really leave at that point. Let's see. From a plane? Haley's on a plane? How could you be listening? I mean, I guess there's internet on the plane. You can certainly check in from a plane. From France, Benjamin. I don't know how to say it if you're in France. Let's see. Steven says Miller's a great fit for the team. Yeah, he is. Adelaide via Charlotte. There you go. We're big in Adelaide. We know that. Pickletown, Mount Olive. Very good. I love pickles. There we go. High Point, Chicago, Illinois. Shouts to you. John loves Keandre. Everybody loves Keandre Miller. New Jersey needs to sign the goalpost to an 8-year deal. My gosh. I had 5, ringing posts last night. 5 ringing posts. Gastonia in the house. Washington, North Carolina. We had tons of stuff. Greensboro, Atlanta. Platform 9 3/4. Very good. Very good. I believe the Post tried to put a Confundus charm on the Carolina Hurricanes. Well, Fernandina Beach, Florida. We might as well just finish this. Eugene, Oregon. Elon, Atlantic Beach, Southern Maine. Love Southern Maine. Let's see. Okinawa. Thank you very much, Tyler. And Fort Worth, visiting Raleigh. Thank you for your service, Nance. Let's see. Climate Pledge Arena. Talia watching the Kraken and listening to the Canes Corner podcast. Linwood, Washington. And Talia, oh, that's right, our friend Talia. We have emailed before. Nice to see you at Climate Pledge. Longleaf Pine IPA checking in. He's, I think Will is right like halfway through the bottle right about now. All right, I want to talk about the old guys. Let me get to the old guys. And I don't mean old guys. I mean Seth Jarvis. I mean Sebastian Aho. And the fourth line, which has one old guy. Jarvis, Aho are great tonight. We demand so much from those two guys. Jarvis gets the 2 goals, but man, they both could have had more. I got a little frustrated with Aho in the first period because I thought he held on. He didn't hold on to the puck long enough. I think Sebastian needs to trust himself a little bit more to make plays, sometimes hold the puck a little bit longer. And I realize that this sounds like I'm talking out of both sides of my mouth because at times, especially in odd man chances, Aho will hold the puck too long and then make a pass that isn't there. And I think sometimes my only problem with Aho is that he doesn't present himself as a shooter enough. It's not that he looks to pass. I got no problem with Aho passing. But if you cannot be taken seriously as a shooter, then the pass almost doesn't matter because everybody's going to play the pass. The goalie's going to be anticipating the pass. The defender is going to be anticipating the pass, and then you're out of luck. A shorthanded situation in the second period. I think it was the second period. Yeah, second period. And Aho looks to pass, but holds the puck and then does a little toe drag, gets to the middle of the ice, beats Markstrom clean, but it rings off the post. I mean, a lot of people thought it was a goal. It hit so square on the post that it didn't even make a metallic sound. Like I think Mike even said, did that hit the back bar? It was a great shot. The post just kept it out. But I thought Aho was a creative player tonight. I thought he was noticeable. He was excellent defensively. 12 out of 16 in the faceoff circle, played 21-39. I loved Sebastian Aho's game tonight. And obviously you love Seth Jarvis's game. He hit 2 posts in the game, including the inside of the left post before he ever scored a goal. Jarvis did score the goal that made it 4-3. Then he scores the empty net goal. Somebody had to score. Somebody was going to score after all the posts Carolina hit. I counted 5. I think I heard Mike say 7. I have no idea. Jarvis 2, Aho 1, Slavin 1. Taylor Hall, right after the goal that Miller scored to make it 3-2, the power play goal, on the ensuing shift, Hall in tight beats Markstrom, but it goes off the inside of the post. I was just absolutely crazy that Carolina didn't score more goals than that. But, I mean, that's what happens. The post is hard and it's round, and sometimes it just doesn't go in. John is in Washington, D.C. Yes, the camera did freeze at one point. But we came back, and Patrick wants to know my celebratory Goodberries order. I'm not going to give it to you because I don't want to disparage anybody or anything. Let me get to the fourth line. I thought the fourth line was outstanding in the first period. Didn't play a ton. Played, I think, about 4 minutes of the first period. I thought Kotkaniemi was really good. in the first period. I thought he had the play where he kind of dragged the puck to the middle. And it was, to that point, it was, Markstrom's best save to deny the goal. I think it was already 1-0 Carolina at the time. I loved that line's first period. And I thought Eric Robinson was exceptional throughout the game. Didn't play a ton. That whole line did not play a lot. Here's what I want, because I thought Kotkaniemi was really good in the first period. He's just terrible in the faceoff circle. And I think may have gone a long way into why Rod Brindamore limited that line as a trio for the balance of the game. But here's what I want from Kotkaniemi. Listen to what Taylor Hall said after the game about knowing your role, understanding, what is expected, what is asked of you. And I promise you this, the more you play well, the more the head coach will trust you. He wants to have balanced lines in terms of time on ice. There are going to be games where he's going to need Aho, Jarvis, Ehlers, Stankoven, Blake, Svechnikov to play 20 or more minutes. There's going to be games where Rod's going to need that. Where, Hurricanes, tight game. And this was a tight game. Remember, it was 3-3 until late. But the preference would be to really balance the ice time out. And the only way that's going to happen is if Kotkaniemi and company play like they played in the first period, also in the second. And again, tight game. Rod is going to lean on the best players, his top guys, because that's what we want, right? When we watch Colorado or Edmonton play, and I'm not suggesting that Aho and Jarvis are the equivalent of McKinnon and McDavid. But when we watch those teams play, at the end of the game, we look at the ice time and go, look at that. McDavid played 25 minutes. McKinnon played 26:50. And it's rare that we see Carolina's best forwards play more than 21 minutes a night. But maybe Aho and Jarvis and Ehlers, maybe they need to. And that's okay. So that time's going to come from somewhere. So if you're Jesperi Kotkaniemi and Taylor Hall and Eric Robinson, when you get shifts, you make the most of them. You stack enough shifts like that together, and the head coach will use you more. And I'm not criticizing anybody here. I'm just saying I think the game kind of played this way, so it worked against Kotkaniemi in terms of ice time. And Carolina had back-to-back power plays in the third period. Still don't know how it wasn't delay of game, puck over glass. How is that not a dog pog on Luke Glendening? I mean, he just sailed the puck from the defensive zone while shorthanded into the seats at the other end of the rink. No clue. Rod Brindamore just laughed about it after the game. When you win the game, you can laugh about those things. But I love the fourth line early. So when you get it, you get the ice time, make the most of it. I think you end up getting more. Even though I've talked mostly about their partners, actually, I didn't even talk about Jacob Slavin, who's putting on a stickwork masterclass in the first period. It was a -1 tonight. Sean Walker was a -3 at one point, ended up a -2. But I thought Gostisbehere and Chatfield both played really, really well. And I think the pair of Gostisbehere and Nikishin is going to be good. I have no problem with Gostisbehere on his offside. And I think Nikishin, his reputation precedes him. I think there were situations tonight where Devils were looking for him because they knew that he would deliver shots. Like to see that. I thought he was really good tonight, and I thought Gostisbehere gives him a veteran who can play his offside. And I think Gostisbehere will probably play a little bit more cautiously to allow Nikishin to kind of explore some of his offensive side. And that's good. That's good. You want this kid to be aggressive offensively. I'd like to see him use his shot a little bit more, but I thought he was good, and I think Gostisbehere was a big reason why Nikishin was good. And in Chatfield, I think you can tell Chatfield and Miller will be, if that's going to ultimately be the pair. I'm not sure it will down the road, but for now, Miller and Chatfield, yeah, that's going to be fun to watch. I mean, I think both players have a little bit of offensive side to their game. I'd love to see more. Obviously, Miller scored 2 goals tonight. He is running the second power play unit. He's got Sean Walker with him, but Walker in that is in more of a shooter's role than a like dual guys at the blue line. But man, Miller and Chatfield are going to be fun. I do think down the road we'll see Miller play with Slavin. Slavin probably on his offside, and Chatfield shepherding Nikishin. But for now and probably maybe the first 3 or 4 months of the year, I think you're going to see Nikishin playing around 17, maybe 18 minutes a game. He's clearly going to be the 6th defenseman. Gostisbehere played over 20 minutes tonight. And in the third period, Rod was kind of mixing and matching a little bit on the blue line. Not that he went down to 5. He just skipped over Nikishin every now and then. And his ice time was about 15 and a half minutes for the night. Let's close on, 2 quick things. First, the power play, which 1 out of 4. So the percentage is fine. You'll be happy if you go 1 out of 4 every night. I thought was really good. First one was so short, doesn't even count. Penalty kill only had to kill 1 penalty. So that also doesn't really count. Although, I mean, that one did. And Carolina had the 2 best scoring chances on that power play with Aho and then Martinook right after that. After Aho at the post, I think, New Jersey didn't get the puck into the Carolina zone, and all of a sudden Martinook's got a breakaway, and that was probably Jacob Markstrom's best save. Got the glove to the Martinook attempt. But look, Carolina's power play was really deceptively good tonight. So keep that going. The only downside to the game for me was Carolina got a little sloppy, and I didn't like the first goal that Hamilton scored, but I thought Freddie made a bunch of good saves too. The save on Dadonov or Dadonov, however we're pronouncing his name now, Dadonov, I think. That save in the first period, I mean, Dadonov's a goal scorer, man. That's a goal. Should be a goal. Freddie said no, not a goal. And I know people are ready. They're ready to be done with Freddie until it's proven that he can't be the guy when healthy. I just think that Carolina's goaltending is as good as Vegas's goaltending, is as good as Colorado's goaltending. Look, last I checked, before last year, Mackenzie Blackwood was essentially a backup goaltender. He played in San Jose because he had to. Somebody has to. And he got a great start to the season. Colorado was upset with their own goaltending, so they shipped, was it Gorgiev? Whoever was playing goal for Colorado. And they just swapped goalies, and Mackenzie Blackwood just played really well. But ultimately, he was a backup goalie where? In New Jersey, right? He was a backup. So I don't know how great he is, but I know this. When Freddie's right, Freddie's fine. I got no problem with Freddie. Now, I didn't think he was particularly great tonight, but it's early, and he played 2 preseason games, and he even played the full game in either one. But I thought Freddie made some really good saves. He got Jack Hughes once. The save on Dadonov in the first period was excellent. So I thought a decent enough start to the season for Frederik Andersen. It pretty much does it. It's just good to be back, wasn't it? It's just good to be back. Just good to watch the Hurricanes play a hockey game. I think we're going to love that second line, that Stankoven line. And I thought I didn't think he was overwhelmed, overmatched in the middle of the rink. But we'll be, watching for matchups and when they go on the road, when Stankoven is asked to deal with, like when they get to L.A. and they send the Kopitar or the Byfield line at them. What a physical mismatch that will be with 6'5" Quentin Byfield going at the something less than 6'5" Logan Stankoven. But on the road it'll be we'll see what the challenge is, because I think that's always going to tell us what we can expect out of Stankoven as a center the rest of the way. But that line was excellent. Aho and Jarvis, I mean, I'm not going to go they took over the game, but I thought they were good throughout. I did. And we got a glimpse of just the beginning of how good K'Andre Miller could be here. So, great start to the season. It's good to be back. It's good to have you here. Hey, Clayton. Very good. It was fun. Fun game. I appreciate all of you. We're brought to you by the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. If it is for the exterior of your home, you can find it at the Aluminum Company of North Carolina on Hamlin Road in Durham. No place like it. Sammy Hanna and his crew do a great job. We will see everybody Saturday. Canes and the Flyers, a little bit earlier start. We're back to normal on FanDuel. Mike and Trip will be on the TV, and I'll get the whole booth to myself. See everybody on Saturday. I am Adam Gold. Be well, and you can't go 82-0 without first going 1-0. Good night.